6:47, your top stories here in our Smart Start and breaking updates on this hit and run on Empire Boulevard at Donuts Delight. A car crashed into the storefront early this morning, then left the scene.
This video is from right around 2:30. As you can see, one of the front windows is completely shattered. Glass everywhere on the ground. Irondequoit police did eventually arrest the driver on Culver Road. The structural integrity of the building has been cleared. We did speak to the owner, and they tell us they do plan to be open today.
An officer here in the city has been injured in a chase for suspects in a stolen car. RPD says they drove at officers multiple times during that chaos. It began on Hague Street around 1 a.m. Officers saw a Hyundai leaving a parking lot and drove right at a police cruiser. The officer swerved out of the way. The suspects kept going, refused to pull over, and during this ongoing pursuit, RPD says the suspects ran at a police car again. This all came to a head and ended with a crash at J and Walnut Streets. There, a 19-year-old man and a 16-year-old boy were eventually arrested. The officer that was injured was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. The injuries described as minor. That car was stolen from Greece.
Also breaking, a Rochester man is hospitalized following an overnight stabbing. Officers responded to East Main and Wisconsin streets just after midnight. There they found the victim in his 30s and rushed him to the hospital. He's expected to live. There are no suspects in custody.
4 people are recovering this morning after they were injured in a quadruple shooting last night here in the city. That was around 7:15 on Hollenbeck Street. When police arrived, they quickly found the victims. 3 girls, 14, 15, and 19 years old, and a 20-year-old man. Tourniquets were applied to 2 of the victims. All did make it to the hospital. All expected to make a recovery. No one is in custody.
Hundreds of loved ones and community members are demanding action as they continue to mourn the loss of Robert Brooks.
Brooks was a Greece native serving 12 years as a sentence for a Monroe County assault. He was at the Marcy Correctional Facility just outside Utica. He died at the hospital December 10th after video shows he was beaten by correction officers the day before. And last night, family, friends, those wanting to see change in the justice system gathered outside the Monroe County Jail.
And his parents are members of my church. And I think anybody that got a family member that's incarcerated should be here tonight, you know, and stand up for what their rights are. Because no one deserves to be treated like that. You know, and the guys that have been getting away with this, it's time to stop.
Our deepest wishes is that my father's death will not be in vain. His killing must be a catalyst for change.
Brooks' son speaking there. While the jail is not where the beating or Brooks' death happened, it's worth noting Sheriff Baxter, who runs the county jail, put out a message last week calling the actions by staff at Marcy horrific.
Now, since the launch of the investigation into this assault, we've learned the Marcy staff involved in the beating have all been suspended without pay as of last week. One officer has resigned. Governor Kathy Hochul did call for a beginning to the termination process for all officers involved. We heard from the family's attorney, who is responding to these new actions.
Obviously, as anybody who's seen it can tell, it's just horrific to see. I think it was especially difficult for the members of the Brooks family who was there. It was, you know, I think there was just a lot of moments of disbelief, like, why is this happening? Also just really, really painful to see their loved one going through this, kind of knowing that they, no one was there in that room to be on his side, to kind of look out for him, stand up for him, that they were sort of powerless to help him.
Governor Hochul visited the facility Monday and has appointed a new permanent superintendent for the prison. The governor is also expanding the state's policy for using body-worn cameras and providing additional funding for oversight of state prisons. Some state lawmakers representing the Utica area say the governor should wait for the investigations into the incident to finish before taking more steps.
More developing stories. A former assistant district attorney in Livingston County is charged with official misconduct. Jonathan Francisco is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a crime victim while his time working for the DA's office. The sheriff says they were contacted by the victim December 19th, who reported that relationship. Francisco was arrested on the 23rd. No other details have been provided at this time. Deputies say it's an ongoing investigation. Once we learn more, we'll share that with you on air and online. President Joe Biden is declaring January 9th a National Day of Mourning, and flags in the U.S. will fly at half-staff for 30 days in honor of late President Jimmy Carter.
The 39th President's state funeral will take place on the 9th at the National Cathedral in Washington. He died peacefully Sunday at home at the age of 100. Many Americans have traveled to Georgia to honor his legacy. Memorial services are set to begin this weekend in Georgia. A motorcade will carry the former president through his hometown of Plains, bringing him to the Carter Center to lie in repose. He'll lie in state at the U.S. Capitol on January 7th until his state funeral 2 days later. He will then return home for a private burial.
Governor Kathy Hochul remembers Carter in a statement her office released, saying he embodied decency and integrity throughout his life of public service. I'll never forget as a teen meeting him in Buffalo. She goes on to say he was an inspiration to me and so many Americans, and our hearts are with the Carter family during this difficult time.
The man accused of robbing a Rochester bank in broad daylight is set to be arraigned today. 22-year-old Kevis Hurd is charged with robbery. Police say they tracked him down after he stole money from Key Bank on Lyle Avenue just after 9 a.m. Monday. Officers responded to the scene after a holdup alarm was sounded. They learned that the bank had been robbed and money was stolen. No one was injured. Hurd is expected in court sometime this morning.
Sunrise traffic updates here, 7 minutes to go until 7 o'clock. Our expressways looking okay, moving along. In northeast Rochester, there is one accident reported within the last hour at Portland and Clifford. We'll keep an eye on that. The thruway, by the way, if you're making a road trip to Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany today, all clear at this point, early going. Tonight is the night as we say goodbye to 2024 and hello there to 25.
And if you aren't 100% set with your plans yet, we have some fun events happening around Rochester to tell you about. For all the parents and kiddos who don't want to stay up too late, the Seneca Park Zoo is doing 2 early ball drops, one at the snow leopard habitat and the other near the elephants. 6 artists will also take the stage at Blackfriars Theater for some musical roulette during New Year's Eve musical mayhem, where performers will have to sing songs picked by the audience. And for those looking for a romantic night out, you can party like Gatsby at the Club Room's New Year's party. The party features a 5-course dinner, champagne, dancing, and more. For a full list of New Year's Eve events, you can visit our website, rochesterfirst.com.
If you are going out, please be safe. And right now, make sure you've got that plan in the works to get home safely wherever you're going. Having that DD using an app such as Uber or Lyft, always great options. If you're going to a bar or another public venue, organizers say please make sure that you check to see if you have to have a ticket to get in. Don't get turned away. For those still making transportation plans, RTS has free rides beginning at 6 tonight. You can plan those at RTS.com. Weather for everybody headed out and about today, James.
Yeah, it will be comfortable outside of the rain.
Yeah.
You've got numbers in the 30s and 40s going into this evening. Yes, those showers last probably through the overnight and then into early New Year's Day. And then there it is, to change over to snow showers. You got that blue arrow going down, telling us numbers fall throughout the morning into the afternoon. And then here we go, bitter cold blasts coming in Thursday and then lasting at least into the weekend and early next week. Now, lake effect, we put that there for a reason. It's because it's hyper local. It may hover 104,
yep.
Wayne County, typical spots, and then down into Wyoming County, city of Rochester, and then areas like Scottsville, Canandaigua. Not really going to get that much snow. Just going to be really cold next several days.
We'll be following that, timing it out, coming up at 7:25. That does it for us here for this year. Happy New Year, everybody. See you in 30.
CBS Mornings up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.